The elect is going to be redeemed. Call that the heads. Call that the head side. The tails of that is those who are not, he's not going to redeem. He's not going to redeem 2/3 of our people. You're going to have to catch that debt. You're going to have to experience that famine when it comes. It says, because you're not going to be redeemed. It says, in war from the power of the sword. So you're going to be redeemed from famine. The elect is going to be redeemed from famine and the war of the sword, meaning the so-called white man raging war on you Israelites, the time of Jacob's trouble. And those who are going to not be redeemed, who? The 2/3. This goes for you other nations and the so-called white man. You have no hope when it comes to any of this. But 2/3 of our people, you're the other side of the coin. So when Yahweh Shem Yahushai flips that coin, it's going to land on tails. That's your destruction. That's your judgment. But it lands on heads for those who the Most High is going to head out of here. Those who the Most High he's going to deliver. It says, verse 20, it says, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. That goes for the head side, the hopeful elect. The tail side, you 2/3, you won't be delivered from that. You're gonna lose your mind. You're gonna be dying from fear. You're gonna take part in that judgment of you being destroyed. At destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh. So the elect is gonna laugh at that, right? Now let me get a quick precept on that. This is Luke 6:24. It says, but woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Because 2/3 of our people, you full here in America. You're comfortable here in America. You don't want this place to go down. You don't want this place to be destroyed. You still here trying to push for that America to be made great again. You secretly want that. You secretly, even though you may not like Donald Trump, you may not like the dude, but you want the shit that he's saying to happen. You want this place to recover. You want this place to go to be built back up, making it great again, so you can have a great life, so you can live the so-called American dream, so your family can have things. This is what you want. You don't want this place going down, so you full, but you're going to physically hunger. It says, woe unto you that laugh now. You're laughing now. See, at that time, the scripture said back in Job that the hopeful elect is going to laugh at the destruction when it comes. But you're not going to laugh. You're laughing now. So that's got to be reversed. It says, woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. For ye shall mourn and weep. I mean, you're going to mourn and cry. Ain't no laughter for you in those times. When death comes, you find yourself in the guillotine. You find yourself getting waterboarded, tortured, just so you can bow down to the so-called white man in his power structure and join him, take his chip and his mark. If you don't, you're gonna be mourning and weeping. And then if you do, you're gonna mourn and weep. That's the deal. That's the deal you got. Why? Because you're not of the chosen. And I humbly say that. I don't say that with pride, man. I humbly say that. Because I'm hoping that I'm part of the elect. I'm hoping that I may be called and chosen. Because that's a terrible thing, man. That's a terrible thing. But you see our people that go out here and they do what the hell they want to do, and they don't hearken to what the Most High said. They don't do the things that the Most High required to please Him. And if you do the things that you do try to please Him, it's still your righteousness is still as filthy rags. So it all boils down to the gift of faith that He gave you. Because that's how the elect gonna be justified. Not through the law, even though we keep the law as best we can, but you're gonna be justified through the faith that the Most High has given you. Because He's only gonna give faith to those that He wants to be justified. Verse 26, woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. And they still speaking that to these false prophets in these churches. They're feeding lies, which is another reason why a lot of our people is going to be mourning and weeping in that time. There's another, and you're not going to be able to laugh at the destruction that coming like the elect will. I'm going to read that part again. Job 5:22. At destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh. So the elect's going to laugh, and the 2/3, you're going to mourn and weep. It says, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. The elect's not going to be afraid when he see newly created creatures or lions, tigers, and that's going to be running through the street. All these ferocious beasts that are being shackled in the so-called white man's zoos. When the zookeepers are going to leave those zoos and head home because all the crazy things is happening, he ain't going to worry about containing these beasts. He's going to want to get the hell out of there. And if they're not there, the zookeepers, what you think going to happen to the animals in the zoo? Eventually, the Most High going to put a spirit on them to find their way out of there. And they're going to seek and destroy. They're going to be killing people. So those beasts going to roam these streets. And they're going to be killing people left and right. But the hopeful elect ain't going to be afraid of them. Because that's not for them. But you 2/3, those who are counted amongst the 2/3 club, those beasts are going to be there for you. And you're going to mourn and weep. And you're going to cry because you're going to be seeing your family members getting limbs tore off of them. And they're going to be getting killed. Like that video of Esau. Esau gets out the car, right? They go up, video footage on YouTube of the so-called white man and his family pulled up to the wild where the lions were, right? And then, you know, Esau, he got to get a closer view, right? He can't just be satisfied, which he shouldn't even be out there. That's wicked too, man. Lead the animals to their inhabitant, and you stay to your inhabitant, your inhabitation, man. The so-called white man, he got to go get in your, and the animals, he got to go into their world, right? So he gets over there, and he's got to get out the car and get a closer view. And he's all locked in. That's how the spirit of the Most High is. He had this man so locked in and looking at one lion, not understanding that he's dead in the sight of another lion. And the family is sitting there screaming at the car, out the car trying to tell this goofball that, hey, there's another lion on your back on your trail. Well, needless to say, he was food for the day, for that lion. That lion folded him up, man. Folded him like clothes, man. Not for a briefcase, but for that lion's stomach, man. That's gonna be coming to the streets, you know what I'm saying, near you. You're gonna be seeing that type of stuff happening, you know. But the 2/3 club, you're gonna partake in that. Beasts are gonna be folding, you know what I'm saying, 2/3 of our people up. Verse 23 says, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field. So you're gonna have stones, right? You're gonna be in league with the stones of the field, talking about the hopeful elect, or the elect, period. But those are not of the elect. You're going to be like a dirt rock. Dirt rocks crumble. Dirt rocks break. Dirt rocks dissolve. That's what you're going to be at. You're not going to be as league as with the stones because you're not going to be hard. And you're not going to receive protection. It says, and thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace. And 2/3 of our people, you're not going to be at peace. You're going to be in dismay, man. You're going to be mourning and weeping. It's like one of the signs fell down. So the next scripture I want to get into, right, is all the things that's leading up to the famine. Then you're going to have what is called the ultimate destruction. America's going to be destroyed, thus said the Bible. This is Isaiah 47:1. It says, come down and sit in the dust. Dust represents confusion. That's how you know we're talking about America. Babylon. O virgin daughter of Babylon. America's a virgin daughter of Babylon. because America hasn't been touched. We're talking war base. This soil has not been invaded. No other country has invaded America. No other countries have shot missiles on America or bombed, atomic bomb like America has done to other countries. How they send their drones in and just bomb cities and neighborhoods. This hasn't been done here in America. Well, the Most High is going to have it done, but it's known as the virgin because it's not, because it hasn't received, it hasn't, a virgin, it hasn't been penetrated. You know, so America hasn't been touched yet. It says, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Because America is the tender and delicate place. This is a place that other nations are afraid of. They fear to attack this place. It's like a delicacy. This place is a delicate place. Plus, this place is the place where people go to when they want to have their dreams come true. When they want to live, have a better life. Because it's delicate here versus other countries that have it bad. Third world countries and other countries don't have the benefits that is given here. It says, take the millstone and grind meal. Uncover the locks. Make bare the legs. Uncover thy pass over the river. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, which is being uncovered right now. The men that are out here teaching the Bible in the right way, the truth, are uncovering America. Then you're getting uncovered by all these other nations. These other nations are putting America's dirt up on top of the table, lifting up the skirt, showing how naked that box is, uncovering your nakedness. Other countries are seeing it. Right now, Iran is freaking fed up of America. All their sanctions that they pull, all their economic warfare that they push on other countries, which they heavily have done to Iran. This is what we need, though. We need Iran to get fed up. We need Iran to jump and get active with America. Because Iran has a big brother called Russia. That Russia is going to come in and protect little brother Iran, Persia. They're going to step in. Because it's like, oh no, you're not going to go to war. You're not beating my little brother down. Not without a fight with me. This is the war of wars. Rumors of wars. This is what's going on. But we want the wars, war of the wars to happen. It says, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Speaking of Yahushua, it says, as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel, Yahushua. Sit thou silent and get thee in darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. That's how we know this talking about America. Because what do America have sitting over there in the New York Bay, or on the outskirts of New York? You have a big, tall Statue of Liberty, and it sits tall, like you would like let you know that this is a Babylon confusion, because a woman ain't supposed to lead a nation. That shouldn't be a statue of a woman. It should be a statue of a man to show power. But this place is given a statue of woman. Why? Because it's the Lady of Kingdoms. That's how we know that the scripture is talking about America, man. It says, the Lady of Kingdoms, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hands. That's what has happened in this land, man. The Hebrew Israelites were given into the hands of slavery in this land by the so-called white man who runs this country. We were given into his hands. It says, and given them into thine hands, and thou didst show them no mercy. And you didn't show our people no mercy. The time of our affliction was in, you pressed the gas pedal. You went even harder on our people. You go even harder on our people to this day. You kill our people. Only you Hebrew Israelites are getting gunned down in the streets, cold-blooded. That ain't happening to the so-called Arab man. That's not happening to the so-called Asian man. That's not happening to the so-called Hawaiian man, Pacific Islander man. That's not happening to no nation but you blacks and Native American, Hispanics, and Seminole Indian. You blacks and Latinos, man. That's who that's happening to. That ain't happening to the so-called white man. They'll wrestle the so-called white man till they get the shit beat out of them by the white man. Will not pull their billy club, will not pull their flashlight, will not pull their guns, their firearms. That's not even thought of. This is a white man I'm fighting right now. I can't pull my firearm on him. So they ain't pulling that on him. They going for their handcuffs and their handcuffs only. They will wrestle and tussle with a so-called white man before they pull out any weapon to use against him. They be getting beat up. These white men I be seeing videos. These so-called white men be sitting there fighting the hell out of a cop. It don't matter what cop that is. It could be a so-called black cop. It could be a so-called Hispanic or so-called white cop or any cop from any nation in that police officer's uniform with the badge and with the ability to take and with the ability to utilize brute excessive force. They don't use brute excessive force on the so-called white man. They only use it on you Israelites. Primarily the Southern Kingdom, man. That's what majority of it happens to. Because the so-called white man feels like he has you Latinos in the order that he wants. He's trying to beat down and separate and make this about so-called the Southern Kingdom, so-called black men, which that ain't even. We're not black. We're different shades of brown, different shades of the earth, which we come from. That's who the Most High, the Most High put the spirit of the white man to whip on. He's the Most High's whipping stick he uses is Esau. These people out here crazy, man. Stuff you see when you come out, all the things we see, man, it's crazy. But anyway, back to this. It says, I was wroth with my people, and I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hands. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. The so-called white man very heavily laid his yoke of iron on our people. He very heavily laid thy yoke of destruction and judgment on our people. You have committed atrocities against our people, man. So bad that the scriptures say that in order for this to have any forgiveness for what you've done, your blood has to be spilled. Your blood has to drench these streets, and it will. It will. Ultimately, by the missiles, it's gonna be so much blood. It's like you wring the towel out, and all that blood comes. Yahweh Shai's garment is gonna be drenched with blood. The scriptures talk about. Matter of fact, let me get that. Actually, hold that. Let me get. Actually, we got it right here. This is Isaiah 63:1. It says, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? Is that this glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength?" Speaking about Yahweh Shai, it says, "I that speak in righteousness might to save, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat." So his garment is gonna fit, because the depiction of this is saying like his garments is gonna be, he's gonna spread so much blood, right, that his garments is gonna look like he's been jumping in the wine fat. Producing the wine press. You know, you press grapes to get the wine, to get the juice from the grapes. That's how much this is portraying that the blood. But Yahweh Shai is gonna be shooting lasers, but he ain't gonna have to physically get his hands dirty unless he wants to. But it's gonna say that the destruction that he's gonna bring is gonna bring so much blood. That's what it's gonna look like. This whole garment's gonna be seen like this, dipped in the mixture of blood, of wine, which represents blood. Slaki. Verse 2. "Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and will trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my garments. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come. I mean, he can't wait for this to happen, man. And we can't wait for this to happen. We cannot wait for this to happen, man. Lord willing, we on the righteous side of the elect. Lord willing, man. Be able to see this happening and not have to be part of that wine press, man. Because the scriptures say through the fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, we persuade men. Well, the minute the Most High got out there teaching, there's his servants that he called, they got that fear upon them. Verse 6, I will tread down the people in my anger, and will make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. Man, this is Isaiah 66 and 15. It says, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. That's self-explanatory. He's going to come with the holy angels, and the chariot is going to be so big, it's going to look like a mountain got carved out of the sky, and it's going to be shooting laser beam. It's going to be so many chariots, it's going to blacken the sky, and they're going to be shooting laser beams, basically complete dehydration. When them laser beams hit people, it's going to vaporize all the liquids, the fluids that you have in your body. It's going to fry organs. It's going to you like powder and vaporized smoke in the air, because it's totally dehydrated. It took all blood, because your body's made up of water, majority water. All that's going to be, you're going to totally dehydrate those that get zapped by those lasers. So the next scripture I want to get into, so you got men that because I done went into different destruction scriptures, right? And then how all those things are going to be happening to about 2/3 of our people and the other nations. But the Most High, he has a remnant, right? He has those that are his chosen, that he's going to be with. This is Isaiah 10 and 22. It says, for though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption degree shall overflow with righteousness. So the Most High is going to place righteousness on that remnant, which is the elect. And he's going to be with those men. He's going to magnify those men. This is Joshua 3 verse 7. And the Lord said unto Joshua, this day will I begin to magnify thee in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that as I was with Moses, so will I be with thee. Because the Most High magnified Moses in the sight of Israel, letting the nation of Israel know that the Most High was with him. He was a man of the Most High. This is Joshua 4 and 7. On that day, the Lord magnified Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they feared him as they feared Moses all the days of his life. So these things I read those to indicate that the Most High magnifies the men that he has his spirit upon. Magnify the men that he's with. So in those days, he magnified different men, Moses, Joshua, King David, you know, different men that the Most High had, that had to show that he was with them. And those men were used as examples for us in these times. Because it didn't just extend to the men back in the ancient days, but in the modern days as well. His elect sits on the earth, he's going to magnify them as well. He's going to show other people that he's with certain men. And those men, see in this society, women are put on pedestals, right? They're put on high regards. Like, you be in a meeting full of men and women, and then a question may be asked, and they'll be looking at the women for the answer. Or if a man speaking, a woman starts speaking, that man shuts up. Listen to what she got to say. Because women think that they're the prize. They think that they're like the Most High dealing with them. They so arrogant and proud that they call themselves, women will say she's an ordained pastor. When the scriptures clearly tell you that the Most High don't deal with women, especially in that capacity. In a spiritual capacity, he don't deal with women, period. He deals with men. Let's cut the bull. He deals with men. In that situation, when it comes to his word, he definitely, shouldn't even be thought of. But in Babylon, in the city of confusion, in this, they put that woman up here, like I mentioned earlier, right? The Statue of Liberty, the Lady of Kingdoms. That's why they have that. Queen of Heaven worship is all through this land. It's all through America. That vibration is so heavy and strong that women really think that they something, man. If you look at video footage of tragic things happening, riots and stuff like that, you hear these women screaming. You hear them screaming, yelling and screaming. They can't even help it. They're so emotional and sensitive that they can't help it. Some tragic thing happen and they get to screaming. It's crazy how our women, especially the Israelite women, you always want you a thug dude, right? You want you a man that's a street nigga, right? A street dude, a thug dude. When the scriptures say the scriptures been telling you that the men give their daughter to a man of understanding, man. Because the man of understanding is the man who the Most High gonna deal with when the true trouble comes. When the real evil days come. When the day of the Lord's wrath comes, he ain't gonna magnify a street nigga. A street nigga gonna get laid down on the street. The Most High is gonna magnify and be with his elect. Be with his chosen men. That's why you have Isaiah 4:1, which I'm gonna get that scripture too, Lord willing. But the women gonna want to run to that man that they see that the Most High is with. They see that man's getting through things that other men ain't. The type of dudes that they wanted are being laid to waste. But the Most High is gonna magnify the men that he chose, that he called, and eventually gonna choose for deliverance. And they gonna want that deliverance. So they gonna cling to those men. The next scripture I want to get is, bear with me for a moment. Fact. This is 2nd Esdras 2:26. It says, "As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary." Matter of fact, before I read that, let me get, because there's a separation. Let me bring out that separation. This is Zechariah 13:8. It says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, two parts therein shall be cut off and die. So 2 parts of the nation of Israel, of the 12 tribes, are going to be cut off and die. It says, but the third but the third shall be left therein. 1/3, the remainder, as he said, a remnant, the remainder of the nation of Israel shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name. Damn. That's how important the name is, man. And you got these Hebrew Israelites out here that play around and fumble the true name, drop the true name, and you pick up the BS, the name that ain't the true name of the Most High. In the Hebrew, you push Christ, Yahshua, and all these other names, and 2/3 of our people majority call upon Jesus. You know what I'm saying? God. That's a title. He has a true name, and that true name holds power. Within that name of power, you call upon it, the Most High make things happen for you. He's always done that, man. As soon as I have learned, all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, as soon as I learned that name, man, and Most High gave me the spirit to believe upon that name, trust in that name, call upon that name, it has shown me so much that I don't even think of no other name. I can't think of no other name, and I pray that the Most High always keeps it that way. That I call upon His true name, because that true name holds power. I'm going to read that part again. It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power. That's beautiful, man. So that's a separation, right, of the two. So going back, so you can have a better understanding of what's being told in 2nd Ezra. Because there's a separation of who the Most High is with and who He's not with. And we on the part of who He's with, because we didn't already went over how the Most High gonna treat those He not with. It says, back in 2nd Ezra 2:26, it says, as for the servants meaning the men of the Lord, His elect, whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish. For I will require them from amongst thy number. Require them from amongst what number? The number of the whole nation of Israel. And that number is 1/3 in the elect. Required from amongst the 2/3. So as a whole pie of Israel, He's going to take out the 1/3 in the elect, because He's required them for salvation. It says, be not weary, for when the day of trouble, we went into the days of trouble, right? The different troubles that we went into in Job, the 5th chapter, the days of trouble, 6th trouble, the 7th trouble there shall no, and the 7th trouble there shall no harm come upon you. Roughly paraphrasing, it says, "Be not weary, for when the day